I'm Sophie and I'm 11. I live in a family of 4 and I have a sister who's 2 years older than me and a pet dog who loves going for walks at the nearby dog beach. And this is my mum, Tanya.
Hi, I've lived in Battery Point for the last 10 years or so with Soph, and I also had the privilege of living in Battery Point in the mid-1990s as a student, indeed, in the house that we actually live in now. Recall fondly many parties and the wonderful convenience that Battery Point has of being able to walk to university, to lovely restaurants, down to local beaches and to local cafes, etc. So Soph, what do you most like about living in Battery Point?
I like how it's a really safe place and it's really easy to walk places. And after dinner, I'll go for walks if we've eaten a bit too much.
We enjoy those walks. I really love a lot of things about living in Battery Point. I love the convenience of being near Salamanca, which is such a beautiful area of Tasmania. I like it being really safe for kids like you, Soph, and not having to worry about you when you're going for walks with your friends, even at quite a young age. It's a really friendly environment, so people of all ages that live here engage in a way that ensure people feel comfortable. And I really love the architecture and how beautiful the buildings are. And I think you were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about, Soph, about what you really enjoy doing?
I love to play sport, especially hockey, which is fun. I also love hanging out with my friends and walking down to Salamanca and getting lunch. Also, if it's a really hot day, I like to walk to the beach. What about you, Mum?
It really is a beautiful place to live. Soph, I love going for runs with you, even though you're much faster than me, from our house in Battery Point down to Sandy Bay Beach and back again. I love on Friday afternoon wishing the week away with a cold gin, looking over the water with our close family friends that live just around the corner. And I actually really love the convenience of having local stores and things really close to where we live in Battery Point. And I think when you were a lot younger, you used to spend a lot of time at the park, so up at the boat park or Princess Street, yeah, or just down the road, just by the jetty. And so being a young mum with young active kids, having such a great selection of parks was really beneficial at that time.
I always remember Princess Street Park and climbing up there and the slide feeling so long when you were sliding down and playing on the hammock thing.
And what about when you used to roll down the big hill, you and Belle rolling down?
Oh, yeah. We used to do roly-poly races down the long hill and we'd always get covered in grass stains, much to Mum's annoyance. So when we go to the dog beach with Papa, she's always she's a really small dog, so she'll be around this tall. And she'll run up to these massive dogs and try and boss them around, and she thinks she's the same size. Full of attitude.
Yeah, it's a really popular dog beach down at Maribyrnong Esplanade, and what's so wonderful about it is it's only a few hundred metres away, so people will often gather there in the early evenings or on weekends and have a friendly chat with people they haven't met before while their dogs frolic in the cold water and over the sand down there, don't they?
Yeah.
We've met lots of lovely people down there, haven't we?
When my friends come over, as I said before, we love going to the beach, walking down to Sandy Bay Beach, and we also love going down to Salamanca and getting lunch there or breakfast, and going for long walks and jumping off the jetty.
What about how when you were younger, you used to make those little stalls out the front of our house for the tourists that used to walk by to buy your lemonade and your little cakes that you've made?
Oh yeah. We'd set up little stalls outside the front of our house and set up a lemonade stand.
We had very kind neighbours, didn't we? Multiple of them that used to buy out the stall and give some donations that made it a worthwhile morning for you.
Who knows what we even spent that on. Well, I go to the Friends School, which is in Newtown, and because it's so safe where we live, I work with my sister and we enjoy stopping and getting a hot chocolate on the way to school, and sometimes not without your knowledge, but
I don't miss a beat.
There's lots of families in Battery Point, and we live really near some of our family friends, where we'll often go on a Saturday night and have dinner with them and play in their pool.
It's wonderful just being able to walk around the corner, isn't it? And
Yeah.
take the salads or whatever we're taking and enjoy a few drinks up there or a really good time together and then just wander home after dark.
Yeah. I love going to a jetty nearby our house and jumping off it. It's always really fun, even though sometimes I chicken out, but most of the time I jump.
And we've got Eddie, don't we, who lives up around the corner, who has his old BMX bike and he zooms down the jetty and sees how far he can do that big bike lift off into the water.
Yeah. I love the local shops, especially Jackman and Macross and Magic Curries. At Jackman and Macross, you can enjoy a really good long baguette and hot chocolate. Also, at Magic Curries, I love their butter chicken.
Do you remember when you were a bit younger, Soph, and Halloween used to come around? What do you
Yes.
remember about Halloween and living in Battery Point?
Well, I remember there was always a big group of kids who would go trick-or-treating together, and I remember competing to see who could get the most lollies in a little pumpkin bag.
It was wonderful, wasn't it, how different people in Battery Point used to decorate the front of their houses,
Yeah.
knowing that a massive group of kids were going to come around with the lanterns and the big little bowls of lollies that they would have, and they used to welcome you all so well, didn't they? All 40 or 50 of you that used to
Yeah.
go.
I think what I remember about Battery Point is our house. It's just a really good house and fun when friends come over. And I love my room as well. What was the house like when you used to live there?
Oh, Soph, it was very different. So we didn't actually have half the house because we've done our big renovation, so we only really had the front half of the house. And there were holes in the floorboards, so it was freezing in winter.